She wakes up before anyone else, before the house stirs, before the children call for her, before the day officially begins. She slips quietly out of bed, careful not to wake her husband. She smooths her robe, she glances at the mirror, and she smiles. Not because she feels happy, not because she feels rested, but because the day hasn't started yet, and already she knows what is expected of her. In the 1950s, the smile was not an emotion. It was a signal, a promise, a performance. A woman was expected to look pleasant before she ever felt it. She was expected to appear content, even if she wasn't, especially if she wasn't. This is the story of that smile, the one that stayed in place through everything, the one that never came off. She learned the rules early. Smile when guests arrive. Smile when dinner is served. Smile when your husband speaks. Smile when you're tired. Smile when you're overwhelmed. A smile meant you were doing your job well. A smile meant nothing was wrong. A smile meant you were a good woman. And if the smile slipped, even for a moment, someone would notice. She lived inside an image already decided for her. Magazine covers showed women who looked just like her, only happier. Advertisements showed kitchens just like hers, only brighter. Advice columns explained fulfillment as if it were a checklist. Be attractive, but not demanding. Be efficient, but never rushed. Be supportive, but never needy. Be grateful, always grateful. She wasn't taught to want. She was taught to serve. And she did. Every morning followed the same rhythm. Coffee brewed, breakfast cooked, lunches packed, dishes clinking, chairs scraping, appliances humming. Her body learned the motions so well that her mind drifted somewhere else. Sometimes she didn't remember finishing a task, only that it was done. The kitchen was clean, the table was set, the smile was in place, the work never ended. Laundry washed, dried, folded, then unfolded again tomorrow. Floors cleaned, then dirtied by nightfall. Meals prepared, eaten, erased, and repeated. Nothing stayed finished. There was no clock to punch, no shift change, no moment when the day officially ended. Even when the house was quiet, she was still on duty, still listening, still waiting, and still, she smiled. Because a tired woman was considered lazy, a frustrated woman was considered difficult, a woman who wanted more was considered selfish. So she learned not to rush, not to sigh too loudly, not to let irritation show. The smile softened everything. The smile made her acceptable. Inside her mind, quiet questions began to form. Is this all there is? Why do I feel empty when I did everything right? Why does everyone else seem content, except me? The thoughts frightened her. She told herself she was being dramatic. She reminded herself how lucky she was. But the questions never left. They waited. She thought them while washing dishes, while folding laundry, while standing alone in a grocery store aisle. Sometimes she thought them while smiling directly at someone. Her face never changed. She learned to be careful with her words. Women who talked too openly were called emotional. Women who complained were called ungrateful. Women who questioned their lives were called unstable. So she kept her thoughts tidy, neatly folded, put away. She smiled instead. When she asked for help, it never sounded like desperation. Doctors told her she was tired, or hormonal, or anxious. She was given rest, vitamins, sedatives. No one asked what her days looked like. No one asked how long she'd felt this way. No one asked what she wanted. Advertisements promised relief. Buy this. Clean faster. Organize better. Happiness sold in pieces. She tried. She always tried. Her friends didn't talk about it either. They laughed off exhaustion, compared recipes, shared small complaints, never the real ones. Everyone smiled together. Everyone pretended they were fine. There was no language for what she felt. Burnout wasn't a word. Mental load wasn't a concept. Emotional labor didn't exist. She had everything she was told to want. So what could possibly be wrong? At night, when the house finally slept, she allowed herself small moments of truth. Standing alone in the kitchen, sitting at the edge of the bed, looking at her reflection in the dark window. Her hair was neat, her face composed, but her eyes told another story. Tired, distant, empty. She cried quietly, just enough to release the pressure, then wiped her face clean. No evidence left behind. She had dreams once, dreams she barely remembered now. She pushed them down. Dreams were dangerous. Dreams led to dissatisfaction, and dissatisfaction was unacceptable. In the morning, the smile returned. The cost didn't arrive all at once. It crept in slowly, in her body, in her patience, in the way joy felt muted. She laughed when expected, celebrated when required, but something inside her stayed distant. Her children watched her. They learned without realizing that love meant sacrifice, that exhaustion was normal, that feelings were carried alone. Years passed, days blurred together. The smile stayed. Sometimes she forgot what it felt like not to wear it. Today, we look back at the dresses, the kitchens, the photographs. We call it simpler, nostalgic, beautiful, but we forget the silence. Behind those smiles were women holding themselves together, not weak, just unheard. The smile never came off, not because she was happy, but because she wasn't allowed to remove it. Because taking it off meant admitting something was wrong, and something being wrong threatened the entire image. She smiled for her family, for her community, for the photograph. She smiled until it felt natural, and then she smiled because she didn't remember how to stop. The smile became history, a symbol, a myth. But inside it was a woman who deserved more than silence. This is the truth behind the image, the truth behind the smile, the truth that never fit neatly into a magazine spread. She wasn't broken. She was carrying too much, quietly. This was the smile that never came off, and this is what it cost her.